let's talk about some of the things that differentiate program management from project management. And the big one is making sure we align our programs with the strategy of the organization. When you are managing projects, you're not necessarily focused completely on the strategy of the organization. You should know what it is because you want to make sure that the project you're managing is actually delivering value to the organization, but it's not front of mind. You're more focused on the work of defining, planning, and managing that one project. But when you get into program management, you're going to have to strengthen your business acumen, your strategic focus, your ability to realize benefits, value delivery, and then big picture thinking. So business acumen is really, I don't know. Yeah. Business acumen, I'll just mention here, is all about understanding how your organization operates. So you don't need to be an expert in the domain you're managing the projects in, but it really helps for you to understand at a high level how the organization works. What is the organizational structure? How is authority shared throughout the organization? What are the responsibilities of the different departments, divisions, however you are structured in your organization in producing those products and services that your organization is known for? You need to understand how finance works at a high level, and accounting, and marketing, and supply chain, logistics, human resources, technology. You don't need to be experts, but you do need to have an understanding of all of those areas within your organization, because you're going to be looking at those projects and making sure, okay, are they truly delivering the value? So you trust your project teams and the subject matter experts to make sure that they're doing the right thing. But you're looking at it from a higher level and going, okay, I need to make sure I understand the impact across the entire organization for these various projects. And so to do that, you need to understand a little bit about how the business works. And then strategic focus, you really need to focus on developing a strategic mindset. So this is something that every person involved in projects, from the subject matter expert, the team member, the business analyst, the assistant project manager, the project administrator, you all need to understand the organization strategy. But as a program manager, you are looking from, like I said, from a big picture, and you can see how things are connected together. You also need to be able to embrace uncertainty. So we have these projects. Remember, projects are just plans and they're not reality until we actually start doing the things. And then every time we do the things, we're changing reality. So nothing is certain. We can have a good level of confidence that what we're doing is good and is going to end up in the results that we want, but things happen. People get sick, organization strategy changes, the competitive landscape can change. We could have some global event that could affect our project. We could have some national event that could affect our ability to deliver the project. So just be willing to embrace that uncertainty and how to adapt in those moments. It's also very important to know your organization's strategic plan and objectives. I cannot iterate this enough. As a program manager, you're kind of the bridge between what the organization is trying to achieve strategically and what the projects are doing tactically. So you are sort of that middle person, making sure that what the tactical aspects of the projects are doing support the strategy of the organization. In program management, you not only think short term, but you also think long term. So projects are temporary. They have defined start and ends, right? And you're focusing on the 6, 9, 12, 18 months, whatever, of that specific project. Those are relatively short-term timeframes. As a program manager, you need to recognize those changes that are happening in the short term, but you also need to look at the long-term impacts. Don't just think about the projects you're working on, but think about the projects that are going to be resulting from the changes that we're implementing in these projects right now. So you're looking at the short term, but you're also looking at future long-term new projects, operational changes, and how that could affect the projects and the organizational environment that we're facing in. A lot of organizations like to have 3 to 5 year strategic plans. With the pace of technology and globalization, I think that is decreasing to more of a 2 to 3 year mindset, but you still need to think in those terms. I mean, what are the projects doing to change how your organization looks in the next 5 to 10 years? And is that where the organization wants to go? You also need to analyze current trends and anticipate future challenges and opportunities. So this sounds like a big deal, and it may sound a little overwhelming because, we're supposed to be monitoring these projects to make sure that they're doing what they're doing. And that's good. But, the world changes, life changes. We have seen technology changing in tremendous ways over the last 5 years. And our global environment has changed tremendously in the last 5 years. We did not anticipate some of these changes, and they caught people off guard. And so you want to be a little forward thinking. Look at the things that are coming out in your industry and start thinking about, how could those affect my organization, and how could those affect the projects that we're currently doing or that we're planning to do? Another important thing is to learn from success and failure. Every project manager, everybody in the world should learn from their own successes and failures. But what you're doing from a program manager perspective is you're looking at the successes and failures or opportunities for improvement of all of the projects that are happening currently, that have previously happened, so that you can make sure that the future projects you begin to incorporate into your program will be better and will not have those same opportunities for improvement as the past and current projects do. And again, just embrace change and flexibility. Program managers have to walk a fine line between following the tactical processes of planning and delivering a project, but also working with the dynamic environment within the organization and outside the organization. Change happens, it's inevitable, and the more flexible and adaptable you are in pivoting and making sure that the projects that you're overseeing still continue to deliver value, even though change happens. And this is where you want to think about, okay, we have a change in one project. You're going to have to think about how that one project change could flow over into other projects that may depend upon the outcomes of that one. So strategic mindset is not just about knowing the organization's strategy. It's also knowing the landscape and environment in which your project, your program, and your organization is operating, to be aware of anything that might come along that you'll need to address and respond to. Because proactivity is much less expensive than being reactive from change.